Hello and welcome to this video. Yet again, we are here to discuss about salaries, and the big question is, do employers expect candidates or job seekers to negotiate salary during the interviewing process? Join me in this discussion as we unpack some of the best ways to even do research and benchmark on the appropriate salary range for that role that you're going to be interviewed for. As usual, my name is Mary and I'm joined by one of our interview coach, Evelyn, who will be shedding more light in this subject. Thank you, Evelyn, for joining.
Thank you so much, Mary, for having me here.
Yes. You know, when we talk about salaries, it's about money. Very exciting.
A very exciting topic.
Yeah, no one wants to get it wrong during the negotiation. So just to begin with, what is salary negotiation when it comes to jobs?
Yes, so Mary, salary negotiation is the process by which a job applicant and an employer discuss and agree on the compensation package for a given role. And often at times it involves the base salary, you have the bonuses, benefits, as well as other forms of compensation. And usually the goal of salary negotiation is basically for the applicant and the employer to reach a mutually agreeable compensation arrangement that meets both parties' needs.
So do employers actually expect, the potential employers, do they expect candidates to be able to negotiate salary during the interviewing process?
Well, the expectation around negotiation of salary is usually dependent on the, let's say, the industry, the company, let's say, culture, or even that specific role. But in general, employers do expect and even encourage job applicants to negotiate salary to some degree during the interview process, because this serves several purposes. Number one, it helps the employer evaluate a candidate's negotiation skills, also understand their compensation package, and also it also helps them ensure that the final offer that is going to be given to the applicant actually meets the applicant's requirements or rather needs. Now that said, some organizations, you will find that they are quite rigid when it comes to their salary bands. So you find that they're less open to extensive maybe negotiations. But now the best approach for an applicant is for them to do research on the typical salary ranges for that particular position. Be prepared to even discuss the salary requirements, but also remember to be flexible and collaborative during the negotiation process. Yes,
I know when you say some companies or organizations can be a bit rigid, I fully understand, because definitely no employer wants to pay more.
Yeah, absolutely.
and that brings me to the question of how then can job seekers just do proper research or even benchmark on how to negotiate salary for a given position in order to be able to strengthen their positioning?
There are several helpful resources that candidates can utilize to help them benchmark for appropriate salary ranges. And the first example is the industry salary surveys as well as reportings. So many professional associations, HR consulting firms, and even professional bodies, they usually publish detailed salary data as well as trend analysis for various roles as well as industries. So candidates can use these platforms to get and see how they can maybe come up with the salary compensation that they need. And then secondly, we have the online comparison salary tools. Now websites like the PayScale, we have Glassdoor, and even salary.com, they allow you to research for salary ranges for positions based on the job title. We'll have the geographical location and even the experience level as well as other factors. And then another key resource is networking with professionals in similar roles. So having informational interviews or even conversations with professionals in a similar or rather target roles will help you have real-world insights on the compensation that you can sit well with as a candidate. And then lastly, also a candidate can leverage on the compensation history that they've had before. So just for them to get to understand their own, or rather the current salary or even past compensation level can help them establish a reasonable target range. Yes, ma'am.
It's very important to know your worth. I normally tell candidates the same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, as we wrap up, could there be specific industries or companies that are more open to salary negotiations compared to others?
Right, yes. There's some specific industries or even company cultures that tend to be more accommodating of salary negotiations compared to others. Now, for example, the tech or software companies. Now, these industries are they're highly competitive in nature. So you'll find that employers in these industries often allow for salary negotiation in order to attract top talent. Okay, and then we also have the consulting or even professional services companies. Now, these ones, most of the time, we'll find that they have a typical tendency to be flexible when it comes to compensation, and this is because you'll find that candidates, they bring in different values, yeah. So you'll find that they are flexible to compensation based on the qualifications that the candidate has and the value that they're bringing to the organization. And then lastly, we also have the startups or even small or even private companies. So you'll find that large or more established companies, they may have more rigid salary structures, but now the smaller ones, you'll find that they're more
a bit like open.
Yes, or rather they allow for negotiations. Yes, Mary.
Wow, interesting. Quite a lot of information there to get as far as salary negotiations is concerned.
Yes, Mary.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much, Mary, for having me here.
Great. Indeed, as a candidate, you're preparing to attend that interview. It goes beyond just being ready to showcase your technical expertise and how much you are a better fit for that role, but it is important also to prepare for that moment of selling your worth in terms of your expected salary for the role. And that is why it is important to do your market research very well, just as Evelyn has echoed. And we encourage you to even feel free to reach out to us for a more personalized coaching session for whichever role you have that you will be interviewed for, and we'll be glad to work with you the journey until you get your dream job. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.